Alright guys, we're here today with another review of sorts. I couldn't think of too much to review, so I decided I'd review something that not many other people have really given any justice. Something maybe a lot of people think I should say, is a terrible system that should have never existed in the first place, but actually was pretty important. So, take a guess of what it is if you're not reading the title already. Actually, there's no point. Let's just show you. Okay, today we're talking about the N-Gage. I have the QD model, but the N-Gage or the N-Gage QD in general. Most people straight off the front or the back or the left or right, just straight out of the starting gate, they'll say that this game system with the games sucks. They'll say it's absolutely terrible, and they'll can't back up their theory. Well, why does it suck? Well, it just does. Well, no, it does. I understand. Every system has its stinkers. Every system has stinkers. I mean, like, Super Nintendo has a lot of stinkers, but people don't think that system sucks. And the original Nintendo, a lot of bad games as well, but people don't think that sucks. What's going on? Can you see what I'm talking about here? I think the N-Gage has more good games than bad games. I mean, yes, there are some bad games, such as the sports games, a couple other games that I really just... Splinter Cell Chaos Theory was an excellent game, but the first one, the 2D version of it, not too great, kind of like a Game Boy Advance game. And this handles a 32-bit processing engine in here, like a PlayStation. So this plays 32-bit games in full motion, full color, of course color. You know, we're not living in 1985 with the Game Boy anymore, which is 89 actually. But anyway, N-Gage was a different kind of concept at the time. N-Gage was the first ever cell phone / video game system to ever exist. Ever. There was never one before this. And this game system itself sold terribly. And I'll tell you why. This sold terribly because, one, marketing was terrible, and two, because it was restricted to only T-Mobile in the United States. Didn't run on anything else but T-Mobile. I think there was a version you could buy specifically at GameStop, which is the only place this was sold, for $50 extra, which was an unlocked version of the N-Gage, but mine is unlocked anyway. But like I said, there was an unlocked version which cost extra to buy, and people were not about to pay $50 extra just to have an unlocked phone when they could keep their average phone, let's say, you know, whatever they had at the time, a Motorola Razr. Back then in 2003, that was the phone to have. But this was also one of the first phones that was considered a smartphone. Most people won't consider this a smartphone, but for 2003, pretty advanced phone. It could do a lot of things. It could play, the original N-Gage had an MP3 player, had an AM/FM radio, it had internet, which was slower than 128 KB per second. Get that right. Again, this is nearing 8 years ago, so that's why. Or 7 years. I'm not very good at math. But the N-Gage QD was a bit different than the original N-Gage. They took out the MP3 player, they took out the radio, but they did include something that made the system, in my eyes, the better of the two. They included a card slot. Instead of having to remove your old games, like in the first N-Gage, you had to literally take out the battery to change the game, which a lot of people hated. So the QD, what they did is recruited a little flap right here in the bottom of it. Just a rubber flap comes up, and the game cartridge goes right in there, and you can pull it out, put it in whenever you want. And that was a great idea, because you didn't have to change batteries or pull out your battery. You didn't have to, you know, stop what you're doing to kind of put a game in. You could just do it right there. You didn't have to, like, say you were texting somebody, talking to somebody on the phone. You could can pop a game in while you're doing that. Put it on speakerphone and do that. Also, it's cool if you get a call while you're playing a game, then it would go to that. It would pause the game automatically, and it would kind of say blah 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 calling, and you could answer or ignore or whatever. But that was really cool because the other one did the same thing, but like I said, you had to pull the battery, you have to change the game. And so let's say you're in class or something, and you're dropping things, you're pulling batteries out, boom, boom, everything's flying everywhere, when you could just pop the card in the bottom like that. And also, there's a headphone jack up top here, right in there, as long as a charger, in this case right here. But what also is very cool about the N-Gage was its ability to display full-motion 32-bit games, which had never been done before on a portable system at the time. The best thing out there, in 2003, the best thing available was a Game Boy SP, probably. PSP was not released yet. PSP came out soon after, but N-Gage was the first 32-bit portable gaming system to ever be released. And this pretty much set the standard for portable gaming that was higher than a Game Boy kind of style graphics, which at the time was 16-bit. So, this is kind of a revolutionary system if you think about it. It was kind of a stinker in the same reason, but okay, let's turn it on. It was kind of a stinker the way it was marketed. Like I said, only at GameStop. But besides that, you turn it on, you get this nice Nokia screen. I wish I could find an easier way to film this, guys. But, I really can't, so... Takes a second to turn on. Oh, interference. Then you get a cool N-Gage. Of course, my T-Mobile dud SIM card's in there. I don't actually use this phone as a phone. And I have my nice QD background. So what we're doing here, we're gonna go to scroll. Actually, I'm gonna do this off screen because I can't do this. This is involves a lot of stuff I can't do while pointing at the camera. What you had a Bluetooth. You had Bluetooth. You also had an N-Gage Arena, if you see this. Up there I have it highlighted. What the N-Gage Arena was a really cool system. It was online play. This was also the first portable system with online play. Another revolutionary thing. So, you know, the N-Gage really had some cool perks that really, if they would have been marketed better, they would have caught on, and they really would have been a great system that stuck around and maybe been alive still today. But no, they marketed only at GameStop. They only used T-Mobile, or had to pay extra to get the unlocked version. And on top of that, third-party support wasn't that great because companies didn't see too much in a 32-bit portable system at the time. Now PSP is huge, blown wide open. Nintendo DS, blown wide open. And just, I mean, it's just, if they would have known something like this would have caught on, it's great. I mean, this is one of the coolest systems that I can think of. It's revolutionary. It paved the way. Frog in my throat. It paved the way to most normal portable systems today. Without the N-Gage, people say, "Oh, I wish it was never invented." Well, if the N-Gage was never invented, we would have skipped right to PSP, and PSP probably would have suffered the same fate the N-Gage did. Probably would have flopped. So, you know, instead of doing all that flipping and flopping, we got an N-Gage and the PSP succeeded. So this is kind of a success. I mean, a precursor to a DS, a PSP, a DSi, you know, any other system. I'm not very big on modern systems, guys. I'm sorry, but the two I can think of that this was a precursor to was DS and PSP, which are both, in my opinion, pretty good systems. I don't play either of them too religiously. Like I said, I actually stick to N-Gage more than both of those systems, if you believe that. But you know, some games for the N-Gage, as I've probably already said, complete stinkers. They stink. They suck. They should have never been released. They might as well just be cell phone free applications. And some of those games like that suck. There's not too many of them, but they do suck. Something like Super Monkey Ball, which I thought would have been a good game to port to the N-Gage, right? Well, it's not too bad, but here's two problems. It takes up a crap load of memory, the controls are not executed well at all, and just simple things like that that almost make the game just not enjoyable in the least. It's almost like a Game Boy Advance game. And then there's games like Splinter Cell Chaos Theory that are excellent, or Tomb Raider and Tony Hawk. Excellent games. They're just almost an exact port of the PlayStation original. I mean, they're excellent done. The controls are great. Everything is very easy to control. Takes a little getting used to, as most systems do. But after you get used to that, you're set, you're solid, you're good to go, and that's all there is to it. I don't know why people complain so much about N-Gage being a stinker system when only some games are bad, but there's a lot of good games for it if people actually gave it a chance and tried it. That's one thing that people just almost skipped over. It seems like today's market, people who try to get into something like an N-Gage or a DS today, if they don't like one game, they'll be like, oh, this game sucks, I don't want to play this shit anymore. And it's going out the window. I mean, like, people don't give things a chance anymore. The N-Gage was something that could have caught on real big, and it's just a great system. I really do think it's a great system. I mean, you can probably call me whatever you want, but I think the N-Gage was a great revolutionary system, and that it really could have made it big if it was marketed better. And that's basically the N-Gage for you. It was just a great revolutionary system that could have made it big. It didn't. Yeah. So guys, this has been my little rant / review on the Nokia N-Gage and why people do and don't like it. The people who do like it definitely are being crushed by people who don't like it. It's kind of like a 75, no, actually it's like an 80-20, if even that, maybe 90-10. 10% like it, 90% don't, just because they're on the bandwagon. Well, people say it sucks, so I'm gonna say it sucks too. Basically what happened to the N-Gage. Didn't get good reviews. But sorry guys, I've been ranting for too long, and I really hope that you've enjoyed this little rant of mine. I really wanted to kind of clear the air of the N-Gage, and I know I did 2 games in part 5 of my unsung games for the N-Gage, and check that out, and maybe you'll actually see how the N-Gage could handle 32-bit games very well, very fluid, very solid, and they did a good job at doing it. Pandemonium, Tomb Raider, Tony Hawk, Splinter Cell, Chaos Theory, good games. Operation Shadow, hard as hell, good game. Asphalt, excellent game. Stuff like that. But yeah, this is going on too long, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just rambling and I keep on going. N-Gage QD, the fast and easy way to enjoy yourself in the car, in your RV, on your boat, whatever. Take it with you wherever you go. It's as easy as that. Flip it on your side, and you're ready to go. So guys, I am Matt. Hope you enjoyed this. Again, I hope you enjoyed this little rant on the N-Gage. Something I truly enjoy, and I hope you guys get into it. Maybe it can come back one day. Be an underground kind of gem. Yeah, tough luck with that one. Catch you later, guys. Thanks for watching.